Come on in, pull up a chair, and take a load off, because today I'll be reviewing and sharing a bit of a how to play for Cubitos from AEG. Is this a fun, fast, push your luck racing game sure to please a lot of gamers out there? Or would you have to be a real square to find anything to recommend about Cubitos? Well, you're going to find out right after this. Howdy, 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 gang, and happy holidays. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, I am going to be reviewing Cubitos in just a moment. But first, I do want to remind you, if you like this video, by all means, give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this, it'll also tell you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs right here on YouTube, Monday through Thursday nights, as I bring you the latest in tabletop gaming news. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So I am going to be diving on into Cubitos, which is from AEG. It is designed by John D. Clair. I kid around all the time that AEG should be changing its name to John D. Clair Games, because Mr. Clair has designed a lot of their recent hits. Cubitos is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up. Mainly because of the components, not because of the complexity of the game. Plays in about 30 to 60 minutes, depending on the player count, and it will carry an MSRP of $39.99 when it arrives in stores in February 2021. Do want to mention the fine folks over at AEG were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share my thoughts about the game. It's important for you to know that. So let's swing on over to the other camera, because I have got Cubitos set up and all kind of squeezed in to be very honest with you, because I want to show off a lot of the different components to the game. I will move some of these things out of the way in just a bit, but in essence, this is kind of a bag building game without a bag. I don't want to say it's really a dice building game, because you're not building your dice, but you are going to be building your pool of dice that you're going to utilize to race around a racetrack. There are 4 different tracks that are available. They are dual-sided boards. I will show you one in just a second. And there's a variety of different races and a variety of different cards that for the dice to represent as well. We're going to dive in. I am not going to go through every tiny aspect of this game. I am just going to give you an overview of how to play. And then, of course, I will share my final thoughts and give this a review score as well. Component quality-wise, this is really, really well done. We've got all these different dice. These are the beginning dice here. They're smaller sized dice. They're pretty small, but they are cut. So these are not just printed or anything like that. They are not stickers. We have all these different kinds of dice. So we've got the red dice. We've got the yellow dice. We've got the white. We've got blue. We've got orange. We've got purple. We've got green. We've got brown. And we have our starting dice as well. I'm going to move these out of the way just so we get a little more light on our playing area. So here we've got the racetrack. We also have a fan track. These are kind of the bleachers here. And as you gain more fans, You'll get more abilities. You'll gain money. You'll gain the ability to roll more dice, to have more dice available to you. This is a push your luck game. So you're going to be rolling dice to try to get movement points, coins, and special abilities. To start off with your basic dice, you're going to get 7 light gray and 2 dark gray. And essentially what we've got on these dice is we've got coins and we've got coin. So the 1 represents a coin, as well as a little footprint, which is a movement point, which we need movement points to win the race. For every movement point, we get to move 1 square. One thing I will mention, on the racetracks, we already have space for a 5th racer. So I would not be shocked in the near future to see AEG release some expansions to this game, because I can easily see this being expandable. So you're going to have your basic dice. You've got your little token here. So the whole concept, everything is cubes, which, to be honest, is a little goofy. I probably would have liked to have seen a different kind of theme. It's just kind of odd. And you'll see it as we look at the different artwork that represents these different additional dice we can add into our mix. But even our little kind of movement tokens here, our representation, they're kind of cubes as well. We've got an elephant, we've got a lion, we've got a lamb, and we've got a monkey. They're also here as well. So we're going to track not only their movement across the board, we're going to track fans as well. All right, so essentially what we're going to do here, and I'm going to bring in this card here. Now, I will point out that this is really nice cardstock. Very, very cool. So it's got a bit of a linen finish, so this will stand up to play. I'm putting this on top of the track so you can see it. Obviously enough, this is going to sit in front of you. That is not going to be covering up the racetrack itself. We also do have some little punch boards that kind of give us information about, okay, so what are we doing in the game? So we have a roll phase, and then we have a run phase. So the roll phase is where you're going to be rolling your dice. You're going to be pushing your luck. Once you've got your dice that you're going to keep, then you're going to go into the run phase, which is where we resolve special abilities, we move our racers, and we buy other dice as well. So I'll kind of give you an idea of what we'd be doing here. So I've got my 9 dice, and it's going to show here, each of the players have a limit of 9 dice they can roll. You can have more dice. You can only roll 9. So I would roll my dice, and of course, I'm going to have some keepers. So we've got this, those, that one here. So I now have 4 active dice. Now I get into a push your luck situation here, because once I've got 3 active dice, if I roll my dice and they all come up blank like this, then it's a bust. I lose everything. The game does have simultaneous play, so you should all be rolling your dice at the same time to kind of speed the game up. That said, if you play with people who tend to be a little below board, I guess we'll say, you might want to each take turns going around rolling your dice, especially when you're learning how to play the game. So let's do this again. Oh, nice. I've got 2 movement here. Oh, do I want to push my luck? Yes, I'm going to do it one more time. Oh, thank you. Now, at any point, I can say, okay, I'm done. I want to stop. That's it. So you could say, all right, I'm finished here. So that's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to lose this, because I've got the 2 movement and I've got coinage as well. So I'm going to push this out of the way. I'm going to move this up top a little bit, so I can kind of explain the other dice that you would purchase. So they're all color-coded, right? So we've got white. Once again, remember I showed you we've got red, we've got yellow. And they're contained in these boxes. Once again, there's that cube theme. And it'll show you what's on the dice. What are on the faces of the dice? Now you're going to be looking at purchasing these additional dice. Remember, I mentioned there's kind of like a bag building element to this game. So for an example, this is a good die to be moving. This is a good die where you want to use that action here. It's kind of like almost like a combat action. We've got like the cheesy guy with cheese action. So you'll see we've got on the box right here, it'll show you what's on the faces of these dice. This purple die is an expensive die, has only the one face, which is kind of like a dinosaur. But it is a pretty good ability here. Here we've got the green. Got a little bit of movement on that one for us as well. We've got the brown, which gets us coins, as well as it's got the little dog special ability. We also have blue, which has kind of like peace symbols and 2 coins there. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to move these back out of the way. You're going to have specific cards for each of these dice. So as an example, and in the rule book, and I gotta point out, the rule book is great. The rule book is super easy to understand, walks you through everything. And you are going to use the rule book, especially when you're starting off, because you're not going to really understand not only the different abilities that are available, but also the terrain on these racetracks are special as well. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. But kudos to AEG on a really, really nicely presented rule book. Also got to point out, this artwork on the cover, everybody thinks of SpongeBob SquarePants looking at that. Everyone. So I don't know why. I mean, yes, it is obviously not SpongeBob, because of course he's got hairy legs, like lederhosen and stuff, but still, it's a little bizarre. Like I said, the theming of this is odd with the fascination on cubes. I think, personally, I think the theming, if this was something like some sort of a race where it's, I don't know, you could have like, you know, special cars or spaceships or what have you, and these dice were different crew that you could recruit. I think the theming would be a little stronger than this oddball, everything's a cube. All right, so anyway, we're going to have these different cards depending on the race we're going to play. And as an example, when you're first learning how to play, you're going to have some of these lower cost cards that don't have a lot of like special abilities. So for an example here, we've got Rich Dog, basically gain 3, and you lose that die. It's not optional. You will lose that die, but it only costs you 2 to get it. So you're going to have one of each of these active. So for an example, we've got Mr. Dog, Captain Bark, Wizard, Dr. Livingston, Dapper Doggy, and Muggles. So for the brown die, we'll have one of these active. And the same goes for every single color. Here's the oddball cheese. So it's reckless cheese. The cheese stands alone. The big cheese. Leader cheesin'. Bad cheese. Cheese boy. Stinky cheese. But they all do something different. This really, really adds to the replayability of Cubitos, because not only do you have 4 different tracks, you've got the push your luck element for your dice, obviously enough, so that's always a bit different. But we also have all these various different dice abilities that could be in play. And there are 7 of each. So one of these 7 orange beavers would be our orange die. Very cool. I really, really like that. All right. I'll just put these back over here on our start markers. So let's move back to this. So let's say, as an example, I'm going to go with this. Whoops. So I decided, okay, I'm going to pass on the rest of these. I've got 2 movement and I've got 4 coins. So I would be able to spend my 4 coins. So maybe I say, okay, maybe Rich Dog is the brown die. I'll say, okay, well, I'm going to buy one of those. Nice. Okay, so I still have 2 left over. Let's see. The red ones are cheap. Let me jump up here. So let's say, for an example, I say, okay, well, I'm going to buy Krabby. Oh, and that would give me a red die. So these are now available to me to be able to utilize. So I've now spent those. I've got these 2 active. Let's say I'm the red monkey and I get to move 2. You'll notice on this race course, we have different markers, different icons on here, and they do change up a bit too. This is kind of the starting race course. Nothing goes right. So basically, it's all just left turns, right? So you're going to use your feet to move. Now, if I landed over here, I would get, if I ended my move, I would gain a coin. If I end in that spot, I gain 2 coins. If I stop here, I end up getting a fan, which would move me here. If I had ended up here, I would lose a die of my choice. So we've got all these little different things going on the racetrack itself. And then we've got all these different abilities that these dice will do as well. And that's where it takes a little bit of time figuring out all these different aspects. So we've got the additional rules here. And then it's going to talk about, okay, so what do these dice do? So for an example, Krabby, only the player with the most swords may use this ability. When you use this ability, take 1 die in any of your zones, give it to another player with the fewest total swords in their active zone. Player must place the die in their discard zone. Giving a player the die has no effect on their ability to still buy 2 dice of different colors as normal. Jacques Cousteau, Dugout, Mr. Bats, Cheese Boy, Bench Warmer, Punk Fruit, Rock On, Rolling Stone. Jeez, up to 11. So this is where now granted, not all of these are going to be in play at the same exact time, but you are going to have to refer to these to find out, okay, so what does this do? What does this little piece symbol do here? Just kind of give you an idea. We've got the purple die. This is the one that's pretty expensive. We already took a peek at the beaver. We've got the brown. We got the red. We got the green, which is kind of a pineapple. It's like rock on. Keep on rolling. Punk fruit. Take a look at the cheese already as well. We've got the blue, which is a llama. So it's llama rama. So what eventually you're going to start doing is you're going to get to the point. Oh, I should say we also have a first player die, which can be utilized as well. This moves around the table, which has coins, movement. So that should have been I could have rolled that as part of my 9. So what eventually is going to happen is you're going to have a variety of, you're going to probably lose dice here and there, but you're going to have a variety of different dice available to you on the beginning of your turn. Yeah, let's say it like this. Now, you're going to have 9 until you get fans. So if I got up to this point I would get a +1, which would allow me to now roll 10. And that's what you gain from gaining fans on the fan track here. So I would have to sit there and I'd say, okay, well, so I'm going to roll 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I would leave those there. I'd roll my dice. And once again, I'd be sitting there going, okay, so I've got these active. Reroll. Got this and this. Left me with 4. All right, I'm going to push my luck one more time. Uh-oh. Oh, wow, 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 wow. All right, let's pretend I got this. So, and then I said, okay, I'm done. So what I would do is you're going to do your special abilities, which are these. These special faces on these dice, those are special abilities. You've also got your ability to spend your coins and then spend your movement. Now, you can spend coins to move as well. There's an option available for you to spend coins as movement. Didn't see a lot of us utilizing that too often, but every once in a while, because you can only buy 2 dice in each of your turns. You can't sit there and, even if you've got a load of coins, you can't sit there and buy tons of dice. You can only buy 2. But what will eventually happen is somebody will go around the track. And so for an example, you'd be going around like so. And whoever crosses the finish line is the winner. And the cool thing about this is there are a lot of different races in the game. So we've got Champion Tours, Tour de Cube. You can create your own races. And once again, they're showing you, okay, these are your dice cards that you're going to utilize for the different colored dice. There's a lot going on in this game, but it's also very easy for you to wrap your head around. Now, one thing I do want to mention is these cubes, I am to be honest, they're kind of a pain. You got to put them together, and then you have to fold them so that there's a little bit of a lip so that the dice will reside in here, but it's never like exactly flat. And then you store your dice in there when you're done playing. Problem is, with all of these together, the way that the game box is set up, there's a small insert in the box. These don't fit in. You have to kind of pull the insert out, put some of this stuff underneath the insert. And then, to me, it's just kind of a pain. I mean, I get it. I mean, it does add to the visual appeal. I think that's kind of cool how they've done that. But, give you an example here. So these are supposed to be all kind of spread around. So we've got the blue, and you're supposed to have, for an example, you've got your blue card next to it. Thing is, it's already showing you what's on this cube. You could simply just put a stack of these near it, just like that. Just put, and not use these at all. I mean, to be honest, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to take these back apart, stick them under the insert, and just use little baggies for these dice. To me, it's just a little easier. But that's, you know, just a little quibble that I've got with the game, along with the fact that there's this weird, like, cube fetish going on. But that is how you play Cubitos. Let's swing on over to the other camera. I will share my final thoughts and give this a review score. I really like this game. So, yes, I think this is weird. I think this is kind of a waste. to be honest. And I highly doubt a lot of people are going to utilize these because these are going to get beat up really easily. And I think, yes, I think the cube aspect is weird. I think the theming, there could have been a way better theme than just these oddball cube things. I mean, and it's just everything is a cube, right? So you've got a llama that's kind of a cube. You've got anthropomorphic cheese, which is a cube. But this game's a lot of fun. If you enjoy push your luck dice games, you are going to love this. If you like deck building games, granted, you're not building a deck. And like I said, it's kind of a bag building game without putting stuff into a bag. But I really love the fact that, you know, you're adding dice to your pool. Sometimes you're actually going to hit areas on the racetrack on purpose so you can lose a die. So maybe you got too many dice and you just want to start getting rid of some, just like in a deck building game. I like this a lot. The gang really like this a lot as well. Love the fact that we've got all the various types of dice of the various different colors, and we've got all the different cards that we have a variety of different abilities that these dice will have for you. I think that's great too. It's just jam-packed with replayability. The races are pretty quick. There's a little take that with some of the abilities. Now I like that. I'm a fan of that in my games. I know some people are not fans of that, but I happen to enjoy that. But then again, it's not cutthroat either. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I really have to give Cubitos an 8.5 out of 10. Almost gave it a 9. It came close to a 9. But like I said, this is just kind of a pain, and just the way that it's set up where you can't even store them once you put them together. It's just... Anyway, but I really, really like this game. I highly recommend it. Like I said, 8.5 out of 10 for Cubitos. All right, that's it for this time out. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you subscribe, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this, it'll also let you know when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday through Thursdays right here on YouTube as I bring you the latest in tabletop gaming news. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Thank you very much for joining me. And hopefully you're enjoying the holiday season even during the midst of this never-ending pandemic. And of course, speaking of the aforementioned never-ending pandemic, here's hoping all of you out there are being smart and staying safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, if you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, by all means, click right here. And if you'd like to check out one of our recent live streams, click right up top. And if you want to roll the dice and see what the algorithm for YouTube recommends, click right here. And of course, thank you once again for watching. And gang, please stay safe and wear a mask.